Let them know. Maybe we could share some of the microphones are. So everyone can check to make sure there's a green light on there.
Make sure there's a green light on all of them.
She turned it.
Oh, she did. She turned it off.
Oh, is that it? Because I think there was.
He said if you touched his.
So item number 6 today is a motion for a labor agreement resolution. Do we need a presentation before we make this motion?
Yes.
Well, about a year and a half ago, labor approached UPD about entering into an agreement to formalize the relationship and recognition of the association, Salt Lake Valley Law Enforcement Association, and to spell out certain rights and that we would recognize as our part of the of our relationship with our labor organization. We've had a very good relationship. It's not been adversarial. In fact, it's been beneficial to the organization and I believe to the board in terms of having input on matters from budget and wages to policies to representation during investigations and discipline. And essentially, the decision to propose this, to formalize this, was not put forward at the time because we were in the process of the division with Salt Lake County and there were other matters that were pressing. Labor brought this back to our attention last fall and said we would look at it this year. As we know that now with House Bill 267, if we're going to enter into an agreement, we have to do it before May 7th or we no longer can. The UPD has continued to work with the association on committee membership on UPD committees and their input's been valuable. The leadership of the association is here. If you would like, they'd speak in favor of it if you have any questions from them. But it's a recommendation that because this agreement recognizes the existence of the association and codifies its current rights under policy, that essentially this is an agreement that recognizes the status quo. It does not require us to collectively bargain for wages and benefits, and it could be terminated upon 1 year's notice by either party or by mutual agreement immediately. So with this in mind, I've covered some of the details in the closed session, but I could present essentially what's in here already, or simply answer any further questions the board may have. And at this point, it's staff and administration's recommendation that we enter into this agreement.
So, Mr. Chair, Jeff Silvestrini, I would like to speak to this, but I would like to make a motion that the board approve Resolution 25-04-01 to approve a labor agreement with our labor group. And maybe I wait for a second.
Great, I'll second that.
So, Mr. Chair, if I may, I think that a number of us as board members were involved. I'm going to go back to a dark time when UPD was compelled by the legislature to split from the sheriff's office, and during that time, we were very concerned that that previous turmoil that this organization had experienced with certain members leaving and then having to separate from the sheriff's office would create a great deal of uncertainty among our officers with respect to the future of this organization, and that they might be tempted to jump ship to another agency just because of all of that turmoil and wondering whether they had a future with this organization. And I know that I was involved with other board members here in trying to reassure our rank and file that we would do whatever was possible to assure them that going forward, Unified Police Department would be a strong police agency, that we were committed to it as municipalities, and that we would assure that our rank and file officers had the same types of merit protections and other protections in policy that were afforded to them when UPD was part of the sheriff's office. So I feel effectively honor bound to honor those commitments that I made. I remember meeting with 3 different shifts at the office of the Mill Creek precinct, and I think we did those same things with Holiday officers and Midvale officers to make those assurances. And so I feel that this is part of the commitment that we made to them. I'll just say that that what we're proposing to enter into in this agreement really doesn't expand the rights beyond what our officers had when they were formerly with UPD, when we were part of the sheriff's office. We've always recognized their ability to have representation in merit proceedings. You know, frankly, I don't understand why anybody would think that wasn't fair or appropriate. We want to always be deliberate and fair in our disciplinary proceedings and how we treat the employees of this organization, because we value them. We have some of the finest officers in the state working for this agency, and I think this will help assure that we continue that. I had some discussions with counsel here about whether this is a collective bargaining agreement or not. And clearly, as you corrected me, it does contain some protections for labor with respect to representation in merit proceedings, but it is not a collective bargaining agreement to the extent that we are bargaining with the labor group with respect to wages or benefits. I think that we're within the guardrails of what the legislature had in mind with respect to that. But there's nothing that would be worse for this organization than not to listen to our employees, not to hear them. At least we may not always agree with them. We may not always do what they want us to do, but to not listen to them, no employer would ever do that and be sane and think that you can maintain the quality of workforce we have. So for that, those reasons have gone on long enough. I'm supportive of this resolution.
Do we have other comments?
I won't speak so eloquently as board member Silvestrini, but I just wanted to thank the representatives of labor who came to meet with some of the board members to discuss this, because it is a political hot button topic right now. Is this collective bargaining or isn't it? I just generally support anything that we can do to solidify and codify our relationship with labor. So I think this is a smart thing to do. And I don't think this is the political hot button issue that some might want to make it.
And if I may, I'd like to particularly thank my colleague, Jonathan Thorne, who represents the association, who actually did the most work on this. Jonathan, stand up for a sec. So in case you don't know, Jonathan is the attorney for the association. He did most of the work on this, and that's why we're able to get it done so quickly, is because the work was done actually mostly last year on this. And we went in, made a few changes, made some, went back and forth on it, but he really took the labor and more getting this done. So good job, Jonathan.
Thank you. Any other comments? We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Aye. That's unanimous. Next item on our agenda is calling for a motion, resolution of support for UPD board for the UPD's community project funding request.
Thank you, members of the board. Last fall, we had a meeting with representative of Burgess Owens, Representative Burgess Owens' office, and they brought us up to speed on what are known as community project funding grants that are specific recommendations from members of Congress for funding certain projects through an earmark. And so they told us to essentially when it opens up, they'll let us know and we can file an application going forward. One of the requests is that we show widespread community support for our project. So I've asked our grants administrator and my outstanding paralegal as well, who wears many hats, to sort of describe what the application has been. One of the things we'll be asking for is approval of a resolution of support of this. But Amanda, why don't you go ahead and tell us what you've been working on?
Okay, so good morning. So we are applying for community project funding through Burgess, Representative Burgess Owens' office, as Harry said. And we were given very short notice on this. We've had 9 days and it's due by 5 p.m. today. And we have sent out letters of support, requesting letters of support from each of you. And we've received all of those. So I want to thank you very much. They said that that's a critical component. Our application is requesting funds in 3 areas. So it's to provide equipment for the new property and evidence building, SWAT equipment, and then upgrades to our IT system. And so we're requesting 2.1 million. There isn't a match. And we think we have a strong application. We were encouraged to apply, like Harry said. One thing to note is that the awardees that were granted funds last year have not received those due to budget discussions within the federal government. So they have to reapply this year. So that means an already competitive application is even more so. So it's slim, but we think we have a strong application.
But as they say, you don't take a swing at the ball, you don't hit it. So we believe this is our best shot. And I want to thank you all for getting those letters back to us. I would ask for approval of the resolution showing this wide level of support from members of the community, including those in the 4th district. And the project is located in the 4th district. I think that helps us a lot. So, yes.
I was just curious when the award date is. It's due today. When will we find out? Do we know?
That's up in the air. So it really depends on funding and what Congress does. I know that they wanted the last year's awardees, they wanted to have that approved and funded in late December of 2024, and that didn't happen. So we have to spend it within 12 months. And so the dates that we are putting in the application of when we would want to spend it would be the 2026 calendar year.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair, Jeff Sunsmini, I would make a motion to approve resolution 25-03 or -02 to community project funding request. And I want to thank Congressman Burgess Owens' office. I know that they've been great to work with on other matters that I've interacted with them on, and I know this is something that the Congressman probably would support. And I want to thank his office for the effort in doing that.
Second the motion.
We have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye. Yes.
Aye.
Thank you. And our next item of business is a Unified Police Department update by Chief Mazrin.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. First off, thank you to the board, all of you, for your support with, like we just discussed, the letters, getting us back to us timely. And thank you for your support of our labor. I appreciate the comments. They were eloquent and really capture the spirit of that whole agreement. So thanks to every single one of you for supporting that. I am in agreement with that. And it shows consistency in our actions and values. And so it's important. Our people are our most important asset. You've heard me talk about the strategic plan. I'll continue to have some conversations with some of you, including you, Councilman Brems, and I'm going to reconvene that committee. We have a meeting scheduled next week, and we'll have that project finished and a final product to you by July 1. Couple other some events. Dispatch week was last week, and our dispatchers are a lifeline. When I was a new officer, I was told very clearly, you might know where you're at. God might know where you're at. But if dispatch doesn't know where you're at, you're in trouble. I was like, oh. Well, they're good folks. They take care of us. And are a really important piece of our officers' safety. So myself and some of the commanders, thank you to Sergeant, did Amy leave? There she is in the back. Sergeant Race put that together. We took them out some dinner and went out and visited with them. I would strongly encourage you, and I can certainly facilitate this, or Chief Manager Weirden. They have really done a phenomenal job out of that. I don't know if you've seen it, Councilman Procopis, but they have revamped that whole thing. And I saw it when they were doing it, but the completed floor of that dispatch center, they really modernized it. It's very impressive. So our dispatchers are out there in this big dark room, plugged into every machine, TV, monitor. The whole thing is like this, just this giant emergency dispatch center. It's really impressive, but we love our dispatchers, and thanks to all of you that supported that and went out. We had a really nice time. Want to mention Public Service Recognition Week, May 4th through the 10th. Recognize those who are in public service. Our Fallen Officer Memorial will be on May 7th. And I believe we're still going to do that down at the Sheriff's Office building. Is that correct, Dwayne? That's correct. Do you remember the time on that? 10 o'clock. So our mutual aid again will be sponsoring that and facilitating that. And that will be down at the memorial, down at the Sheriff's Office building. It's that time of year again, the Salt Lake City Marathon, which is always tremendously fun for police. I'm being sarcastic, but I want to say, yeah, it's not fun for residents. And I'm glad you brought that up. I would like to thank Mayor Dolly Silvestrini for talking to our marathon folks. Bless Justin's heart. This was like probably the worst job on the planet, is trying to organize this thing, because it takes huge amounts of manpower. And in the past, the marathon route, which I think you were influential, at least in helping change, it now requires less officers. And the old route created what I would refer to as like this traffic box of doom over here. So drivers would get into the box of doom. And if you're working a traffic control point in there, you would spend half the morning being yelled at by people that got in there and got trapped and couldn't get out. And it was terrible. Am I lying? Did you ever work the box of doom? Do you guys remember that? It was horrible. Everybody was late for work and they all hated you. And
So Chief, I had just personal experience last year of the marathon. And so what the Chief was talking about is it used to run through Mill Creek and Holiday, where you go down like 23rd and come back 20th East. So there was this circle, like there was this hole of doom that you got in there and couldn't get out. And I rode my bicycle down to City Hall. I had to go down there on Saturday last year. And I ran into Sergeant Mays and his crew doing traffic control. And they were trying to interact with people that trying to get their kids to soccer games, and people were screaming at them. I mean, really, it was really hard for them. It's not their fault. They were doing some secondary employment to control the crowd there. But man, it was brutal. These people were, you know, and we're both trying to figure out, okay, how can they get from here where they need to go from here? You know, how can they do that to try to tell them? This year we simplified it, so it's going to go down 23rd East and then back up 23rd East. So we still have one street through our communities where it will be a problem, but much less of a problem, far fewer officers.
yeah, that's absolutely accurate. Yeah, with that more linear route, less officers, it'll be better for the communities. They'll be able to escape if they need to. But
Before you guys leave, students, they should tell us where you're from and why you're here, and we want to thank you. You can't just sneak out.
and why you're late.
Max, come on up here. Flower. Both of you, yeah, come on up here.
Oh, wow.
So, sorry to interrupt. So most of you know, or some of you know, I'm the SRO for Olympus High School. And so I teach a law enforcement class, second period, every B day. And so 9 to 10:15 is our class time. And so great opportunity to come over here and learn about the government side of policing and what it takes to run a police department. And so these are my students that chose to come. As far, everyone has a car in high school, or most everyone does. And I said, well, this is where we're going to go. And some people said, well, we're taking an extra long lunch. But grateful for the students that came, and we were able to talk to some chiefs, Chief Hoyle and Chief Hughes, and kind of what it takes to run a police department as far as the chief and overseeing a specific city. But this is a good opportunity to see what the board does, and as far as voting on different things that run UPD. And so my students from Olympus High School, this is a great opportunity for them to come and see you guys, and thank you for hosting us.
Hopefully you got an extra hour of sleep.
So they had some good questions too, and they were able to receive a coin from Chief Hoyle. So fantastic opportunity. Thank you for hosting us. And so, yeah, you guys want to say anything?
Thank you.
Max is a baseball player. Who do you guys play next? West Side. So, so what's your guys' record?
11-5 or something like that.
11-5. So they're always fantastic as far as their baseball team for Olympus High School. So again, happy to have them here and grateful to be able to bring them here and for you to host them. So thank you.
Go Titans.
Go Titans. Thank you.
Okay, so we talked about the marathon. Thank you again for that. That's primarily the bulk of my update. I just would like to say too that we have a lot of good things going right now. We have a lot of things we're baking in the oven right now that as those develop, I will be, of course, bringing those to you to discuss things with you. But we're really strengthening and fortifying relationships between our departments and other agencies, both law enforcement and non-law enforcement. Things are going really well. Our chiefs and lieutenants have been phenomenal ambassadors for this department. Law enforcement truly is a team sport. You got to have everybody, and that includes other agencies. And I just would like to say things are going well right now. We're getting people reaching out to our department, and we're reaching out to others, and that interaction is happening with a lot of frequency and in ways that I didn't anticipate, but I want the board to know there's really positive things ahead. So I'm looking forward to that, and I'll continue to update you as we get, as we develop things. But with that, I have nothing else unless you have any questions for me, and I'm happy to just stay here for the next agenda item.
Please.
All right, looks like see a couple donations. Is that what you want? Do you want to go ahead and run the donations? We've got a donation from our Salt Lake honorary colonels. This is a wonderful group of men and women that really truly support law enforcement and have been supporting us for a long time. They every year ask us what our needs are, and gave the Unified Police Department every request we had. And these are the types of funds that we use for different holiday events for our cadets, for those types of programs that really have an impact on employee well-being and morale, and really support our cadet program. And so they gave us every request that we had, which was a check for $16,000. So it was a phenomenal donation. Really appreciate them and the president, Jason Scott, who's doing a great job. The second donation is a $100 check from Jerry Garrett. It's given to April Morse for the Unified Police Department. We appreciate everybody's generosity and support of our officers. So I submit those to you.
It's great donations and significant. Thank you. I have a motion to accept.
Mr. Chair, I move to accept the donations.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
All right.
Aye.
Yes.
It's unanimous. Next item is surplus resolution.
Again, I'll refer you to your board packet, our surplus resolution. So it's doing a great job. They have only 3 vehicles for surplus. I'm going to rotate those out, so I'd submit those to you for approval on the surplus of vehicles.
Have a motion?
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve resolution number 25-04-03 to surplus 3 vehicles.
I'll second that.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Yes.
Aye.
Motion is unanimous. Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next item of business is approval of the March 20 minutes. We have a motion, please.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Yes.
Our next item of business is a discussion of upcoming meetings. We have a UPD finance meeting on Wednesday, May 7th, 9 a.m. Mill Creek. We have a UPD board meeting Thursday, May 15th, 9 a.m. Mill Creek City Hall. A UPD annual awards ceremony, May 22nd, 2025 at Mill Creek, 6th floor grand room. That's at 10 a.m. Is there any other business before the board today?
Mr. Chair, Cruz, lease agreement I'd like to ask for board approval as soon as it's ready to submit. Hopefully it'll be before the next meeting, but not it'll be then, but I may use that as soon as possible so that I can get bids on contractor approvals, but I can't pick a date right now because it's not ready to submit yet. So when it is, we'll send out a poll and try to get a single approval speed set for that purpose.
We do that online. Thank you.
Mr. Chair, just quickly, is there going to be any conflict with that May 7th Finance Committee meeting and the the service?
Well, that's a great question. Let's take a look at that because that finance committee meeting is going to be very important. We're going to go over the budget, which by the way, I should have told this in my update, but the budget is going really well. We're still working on some things, but that will be like the first real, here it is. What do you think? Give us some more direction. So yeah, we should probably, let me work on making sure we don't have a conflict there because both those events are important.
Yeah, yeah, that'd be great. Thanks, Chief.
Please.
Follow up. It's quick math. Fix my formula. So I just want to share with you that entry level officer, the 5% increase would put us at number 10 in the market. So you're aware. Thank you.
Will that come up again, Chief? Because that does concern me a little bit. And I know there's concerns also about doing kind of surgical market adjustments because of compression issues.
Correct.
But these are before other agencies have put in their market adjustments as well. So we can assume that that's going to drop. And so that does concern me, especially at the entry level where we're trying to track people from the bottom up. So I just want to put that on the board's radar as maybe a discussion item going forward during this budget season.
Yeah, I'm sure you all saw the article on Salt Lake City's recent increases that they're going to be doing. It's about 12% over about a year and a half. So that's gonna, and Salt Lake City generally drives our market here in the valley. So next year will be a challenge. So I just wanted to get that correction out there for everybody. Thank you.
Thanks for that clarification. Is there any other business? We're adjourned.
UFA.